thank you so much for being here today. This is Salua, and today we are working on the next segment of Self-Made Successful Women. And I have a guest today. She's a really well-accomplished woman. I'm so excited to have her here with me. Her name is Liz King. She is the founder of Liz King Events and Techsytalk. And I want you to hear a little bit more about her. So Liz King, thank you so much for being here today. I am very excited to have you on board. You know I wanted to speak to you for a while now, so this is amazing. You're going to be able to tell people out there what you do and how you've accomplished everything you've done. So my first question to you is, tell me a little bit about yourself and your business.
Okay, so I am an event planner. I run a firm here in New York City called Liz King Events. And we also have a company called Techsytalk. I got my start studying psychology in college, and I graduated thinking I wanted to be a counselor. And I went and worked at a counseling center, and I hated it. So after a couple of months, I found myself not knowing what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, and I had all these student loans that I just paid for a degree that I wasn't really going to use. Yeah. So I actually got an administrative job at Columbia University, and I was just like trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I worked in the career center, and I happened to be the administrative person on the events team. And I started looking around and seeing what everyone was doing, and it one day clicked. I never realized you could make a career out of event planning, which is something I had always done. I was one of those annoying girls who was always planning, you know, the holiday parties and the talent shows and everything in high school and college and after college. So I actually worked at Columbia University for 5.5 years, and for 2.5 of those years I had Liz King Events on the side, and I was just slowly building it up. And now we work with a lot of startups and brands and use events over time to help companies grow. And I am really just passionate about technology. It's one of those like weird niche things that works for our company, and I started to realize that a lot of other event planners don't know that much about technology. So we launched Techsytalk.com as a platform to really help planners better understand how technology can be used in their events. So we have both companies, and they really feed into each other. I mean, it's all about event planning and tech. That's really our niche, but they're technically doing separate things within that world.
So what is your definition of success?
You know, for me, I'm really about work-life balance. I think that success is only as great as the life that it lets you lead. So if you're working, you know, 30 hours in a day and trying to find time in a day that doesn't exist, then, you know, what's really the point of that? So my ultimate goal is to find that success in balance, being able to spend time with my family. I'm a really big family person, having my hobbies. I like photography and cooking, and I don't really want to give all of that up just to run this business. For many years, I worked an insane number of hours, especially when I was at Columbia and running the business. And then also right when I first left Columbia to really get this business off the ground full-time, it was a full-time effort for sure. But as the business grows, I'm really trying to find that balance and find a way to enjoy life and make a living doing something I'm passionate about.
So what is your day like? Do you have any ritual or routine, specific things you do every day that build up on your success?
So I found that to really have a balance, I have to schedule my life down to the tiniest little details. So I build into my schedule time for playing with my nephews, which might seem really simple. And then, of course, all the business-related things that have to be done, time with my boyfriend, time with my friends. And so I really try to look at a full day and think, how can I work to the maximum? I'm a really fast worker. And so as long as I have my priorities laid out for the day, I can really get through a lot of stuff in a short period of time. So I just really try to make sure that I have that time scheduled and that I schedule in the other things, because I found that when passion kicks in, sometimes I'm like, okay, I really want to work on this project, and I won't talk to anyone for a couple of days. But if it's scheduled, I'll force myself to still have that balance. So I really just put it in my calendar.
What is your biggest challenge, and how did you overcome it?
I think for me, the biggest challenge, I think whenever you start your own business, is just figuring out where did we want to focus, and like just weighing between all of the opportunities and then what really is going to work for us. For me, it was just figuring out when I should pursue something and when to cut it off when I realized that it wasn't going to go where I wanted it to go. I think when you're running your own business, the opportunities are thankfully really wide. There's a lot of things that you could do. And for me, it's finding that balance between what we love to do, what will make us money, and then what people want, what the consumers will pay for. So I think it's been a huge challenge to figure out, what's our next thing that we're going to focus on, and how are we going to get people to buy into it, and how do we launch it, and all of those fun questions. And the only way, I guess, that we beat that challenge, I don't think we'll ever fully beat that challenge, but the way we deal with it is just figuring out, what did we try in the past that didn't go the way we thought it was going to go, and what did that look like, and how do I recognize that in the future, and same with things that were really successful. So hopefully, you kind of tune yourself to what's going to be successful before you've thrown yourself down a flight of stairs doing something that doesn't work. And I think just overcoming it is learning over time what I commit to that doesn't work, and learning what that looks like so that I can recognize it next time. And I don't know if it's really a challenge I'm going to completely overcome, but, in general.
So I want to highlight this because I think it's really amazing what you just said. Finding the balance between passion and purpose, being financially secure, and doing something that people need and want. Is that what you just said?
I think it's important to find that balance.
And this is really great. I think this is something that people should really, work around that statement. It's really good. You guys take note. So what kind of advice can you give younger women that are trying to follow your footsteps?
One is to find a way to believe in yourself more than you've ever believed in yourself. I think that women often suffer with confidence and comparing ourselves to other people and other people's businesses. And I think that's a really hard way to live your life. And just be confident in your ideas and in the focus area that you want to pursue, whether it's event planning or any other industry. You kind of have to trust yourself to do what you need to do. And the event or the entrepreneurship world is a tough world. You're always going to be knocked down. A door is always closing in your face, and you have to find a way to be okay with that and not compare yourself to somebody else's business or somebody else, or where you think you should be, even if you're just comparing yourself to yourself or where you want to be. So I think finding that confidence and then surrounding yourself with really good people who are confident in you too. I never would have left Columbia, I don't think, if it wasn't for Ed, who I work with, who really told me, I'm not being a good friend to you if I don't tell you, you've got to make this jump, you can do this. And I think, with family support, you suddenly start to believe maybe I could do this. And so in those times when you don't have the confidence in yourself, you've got to have the good people around you who can help you.
A strong support system around you.
It's very important.
I agree, definitely. So my last question would be, do you have a quote or a mantra that you live by?
So the quote that I try to live my life by is that if you don't build your own dream, somebody else is going to hire you to build theirs. And that's just one of those things I found, and I thought, that sounds like my mantra, because I remember what it was like to work full-time for someone else's dream, especially when their dream was really cloudy and I wasn't sure where they were going. And I don't enjoy living with that lack of purpose. So whatever it takes to make this work, that's what I'm going to do.
That is so good. What a piece of wisdom we have over here. It's very nice. So this was an amazing interview. Thank you so much, Liz, for being here today. I just want to remind you guys again about her website, LizKingEvent.com and Techsytalk.com. And if you have any questions or comments about this video, please come onto my website at saluaibalin.com or send me an email at info@saluaibalin.com. Once again, thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure having you here today with me, Liz. Thank you again.
Thank you.